There's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are. The way you are. You're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah.
All right. Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band. Oh, good morning. How is everyone this morning? I have lots of energy, as I always do. Actually, I feel like I'm a little amped up even more today, so look out. It's the heat. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I am the spiritual director here, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. I see lots of new faces. Who's here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We believe that there is one thing going on, that there is just an all-pervasive universal consciousness that is the creative source of everything that exists. So your being here is part of the creation of this experience for every single one of us. So I'm grateful to every single one of you for joining us today. And I welcome you. I welcome everyone here to the service today. We come here for one purpose. For me, that purpose is to celebrate one idea, and it is that idea that God is all there is. There is only this divine source, there's only this perfect creation, this perfect creator, and we are all individualized aspects of the creative source. That's what we celebrate here every Sunday. Are you trying to mention?
No, I'm scratching.
Oh, I thought you were trying to mention something to me.
There's cream for that.
Is
Yeah, it's a code. No.
That was
simply an
funny.
inch. Yeah, no.
That was funny. And that's part of the celebration, because laughter is so important, right? So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to celebrate spirit, and I'm here to celebrate spirit that I recognize in each and every one of you. We do this in many, many different ways. One of the ways that we do it is by, we engage. This is actually, so let's talk about ritual for just a second. Because some people come to this philosophy thinking that they're going to get away from ritual, and yet every Sunday what we do is ritual, right? What we need to do is, for me, what I need to do is rethink ritual. What does ritual mean, and how does it really affect your experience? Because it is up to each and every one of you to have the determination not to simply do things by rote, which many rituals then become, but to have a new experience in every experience of the ritual that we undertake. So one of the things that we do together is we read on the back of our songbooks the Declaration of Principles. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you all, for once, to please stand up. For once. Simply to raise your own energy as we read this together. All right. So as we read this, check in with yourself and determine, do I believe this? Here we go. I believe in one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation. I believe in the individualization of the Spirit, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. I believe that heaven is within, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the eternality, immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. You may be seated. Here to take us down that road of inspiration I'm going to invite to the lectern our practitioner of the day, Mary Ellen Cassie.
Thanks for that. Always a blessing and a pleasure to be here with my prayer partners, and it's awesome that it continues to grow. And what a blessing. Reaching out and saying hello to some new folks here today, and blessings for all of those who are here and present. I only have a short reading, but I've spoken to Jonathan earlier because I wanted to share an experience that I had on Friday night with my grandson. So I'm reading Ernest Holmes, one of my greatest teachers. The possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is, backed by the power to reproduce this imagery or divine imagination. And that's out of Science of Mind. But it's not July 14th out of July's Creative Thought. So you don't have to go looking if you subscribe, or if there's some in the bookstore, help yourself. But I was out on Friday evening walking with my grandson and my fur friend, Maggie, who lives with me. My grandson doesn't. I just got back from Windsor. And he pointed to the moon, and it was a beautiful crescent moon. And we took a moment and we gazed at the moon. And it came to me a moment, an opportunity to continue to teach my grandson about these teachings, actually. The invisible and the visible. And when I first came here 8 years ago, seems like yesterday, that I came with a belief system of my own. And it was really hard to wrap my mind around visible, invisible, God is in all things, I'm perfect, whole, and complete. I've said that before to you. But I explained to my young man, my grandson, who is watching in Windsor today, as he does, and he loves this teaching, that this invisible and visible are parts of God. And I once told him when I was little, I believed the sun and the moon rose every day, came in the morning and came at night and shone upon us. But that's not the truth. They're always present. God is, where God is, I am. And we said that together on our walk. So today, knowing that they're present always, just like God, that's what I taught him. That even though you can just see that fine crescent, the rest of it is there. So when we think that God is not with us, I invite you all to take a breath and remember, and there's no accidents, you're singing, I'm remembering, that God is everywhere in all these forms, the wall, etc., the ants, the bees. You have me saying the wall now, Jonathan, but you know what? It's the truth. And you know what? He hugged me, and I told him that the source comes in all forms, all forms. And he hugged me and said he loved me. That's what I wanted to share this morning, is that just one little second later, I have to tell you that I met a woman I did not know across the street from my son's. She invited me. She wants me to come back to Windsor and teach her to pray. God is everywhere, and there's no accidents. And I said I would. And the next day, she brought me food. Being vegetarian, she made me food, and the other part of my family who eats meat, their dish. So, but I say thank you. And you're all a blessing to me. And when I look out and online, I trust, because I'm online when I'm not here, and I say thank you because you're all the face of God for me, and you're my mirror. So blessings.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to just
Go ahead.
Stay right there. Stay right where you are. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Oh. Sorry. I'm a big water drinker. I grew up in the desert, so I'm all about drinking water. So let's take what we've heard. First of all, just hearing I love you. Take that into your own heart. Hear it in your own mind. Say it to yourself. Recognize it in the people that you encounter. Every single person you encounter, even if it's quietly in your own mind, say, I love you. And we're going to do a chant today, a real chant. I'm not going to tell you which page it's on because you'll catch on very quickly. It's in 2 parts. And allow this to simply, let's relax into this moment with the words we've heard from Mary Ellen, which are a beautiful reminder of exactly who and what we are. There is no separation. It is true. We are just as connected to the wall as we are to each other because there's only one energy, there's only one thing going on, and that is Divine Spirit. So we'll sing this together. It's in 2 parts, and I'll sing the first part, and then the band will continue the first part, and I'll sing the second part, and you can choose whichever part you'd like to sing. Just relax right where you are. Remembering who I am. I am 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 remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering.
Right here and right now, I know that there is one life. That life is God, that life is perfect, and that life is my life now. And I declare that life is your life as well. There is no separation, none. I am in communion with His divine presence. And I am remembering right here, right now, and I declare that I am love, and I am peace. And I remember that I am this source, this presence, this power. The words I speak are God's words flowing in and through me. And I am remembering always that I am God in action, that these words are God's words flowing through me. And I look out and I see the face of God, and I greet with my hand, and that is the hand of God. And I embrace, and it's the arms of God hugging me. It is this divine love, this divine presence, and this divine order of the universe that is me being me and always, always here. I am always mindful. I am always mindful. And I am joy. And I am laughter. And I am this creative intelligence, but this magnificent divine imagination. This imagination of what a crescent of a moon can spark inside. This divine spark that lights me up and puts me into the truth instantly, spontaneously. No thinking is involved. And I believe and I declare and I claim that every thought I have is a prayer. It is always answered. And so my thoughts are constructive. My thoughts of health and wealth and prosperity. And I remember that I am prosperous in all that I do, and I am success. And I know that you are all prosperous and successful. And that this order, this presence and order of the divine and the harmony and the peace and joy and wholeness are wherever you are and wherever I am. Where God is, I am, you are. We are. We are unity. And I am grateful for this knowing. I'm grateful for God's love, this source and the supply that I never question. I am sparked and I am full of vitality. Every step I take, I step in health, and I know that I am a healing in this moment. No questions. And I release my word, the spoken word as God flows through me into this law of mind. I release and I let go, and I say, and so it is.
And so we'll continue. Choose whichever part you'd like. I am remembering
Who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
Just take a breath. Allow yourself to resonate from that energy. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to our practitioners, to the consciousness that is presented each and every week right here. Grateful to every single one of you for being here. Grateful to everyone who watches online. I'm grateful to have a community of such brilliance. And I just felt compelled to say that, so there you are. I'm also grateful to music, for music has been a very important part of my life. And I'm grateful to the person who wrote this song, because he's actually been very influential in my life, whether he knows it or not. And I've met him a couple times. I mentioned last week in my talk that I'm listening to this podcast called New Thought, New Song, a podcast. It's a great, great podcast. This particular person, Daniel Nahmod, was he was interviewed on this podcast, and he talked about the album from which this song comes. And he talked about how this album came about because he decided to go on retreat, and he was gone for several months, and all he did was write music in the time that he was gone. And he wrote hundreds and hundreds of songs, and 12 made the cut. And there's a reason for that. This is one of the most profound albums for me. If you have a chance, we don't sell it in our bookstore, but we will. It's called Water, and it is really, it's a very special album. This particular song has always meant something very deep to me, and I trust and know that I will do it justice today. It is perfection. After last week, how can it not be? Bring it on, everything new.
everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before. Broken hearts, slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more. Just as I did back then, I'm gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am through crying, I'm through waiting, through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing. I love this. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. How many of you have learned how to bring it on? But what are you bringing on? That's really, and it is, it's energy, but what are you bringing on? Because here's where I'm going today. I love facts. And I think a lot of people love facts. I watch Jeopardy religiously. I love facts. And I think the reason that I love facts, and okay, here we go, ready? I love facts because I love to be right. And the way that we can be right is to have a fact to prove our point, right? I'm very, very much guilty of this. I touched something there. I can see it. Yes. So here's the thing about facts, though. Facts can be studied. Facts are things that you can learn, right? Facts are studied to be known. But there's a difference between facts and truth. There's a difference between facts and truth. Spiritual truth is something that must be embodied. Spiritual truth, now you'll hear, spiritual truth may be something that you can know, but ultimately it's something to be embodied. Because the problem with facts, here's the problem with facts. They're pliable. They're absolutely pliable. Facts are not consistent. They're not consistent. They can and they do change. It was a fact of the world that it was flat. That was a fact, right? Until we knew something else. It was a fact of the world that we were the center of the universe. The earth was the center of the universe, and everything revolved around the earth. That was a fact until we knew something else. Facts are pliable. And today what really is the message is to don't necessarily always assume that the facts are right. Facts are based. Now, here's the where people get caught up. Facts are based in principles. That is a scientific understanding of facts. Facts are based in principles. Now, we teach a principle within this philosophy. It's the principle of correspondence. It's called the law of cause and effect. For everything that shows up in your life, that is the effect. There is cause behind it, and what we teach within this is that that cause is purely, now really hear this, 100% in mind. 100%. There is nothing out there that is causing anything to happen in your experience. Everything that you experience starts off as a thought or a belief that you have embodied in mind, first and foremost. Facts can change because of our use of the principle of correspondence. Because once we change our mind, the circumstances, the facts, must change. That is our use of the principle of correspondence. There is a very, very smart and actually very deeply spiritual scientist who basically summed up how facts can be used brilliantly. And he wrote this: if the facts don't fit the theory, change the facts. Albert Einstein. He was a scientist. And let's face it, he relied on facts in his work. Just as we all have a tendency to rely on facts to prove our life. There's only one fact that is to be known today. You ready for this? You cannot be any more spiritual than you are right now. That's the only fact to be known today. You cannot be any more spiritual than you are right in this moment. Many of us are on a journey. We come here on a Sunday to feel more spiritual, to have a connection to community, because it makes you feel more spiritual, right? But what happens when you walk out the door? Are you more spiritual when you're in here than when you walk out and you have to get on the TTC and there may be some smelly person who's sitting, right near you, or you may be experiencing traffic if you're driving? Does that make you less spiritual in those moments? Absolutely not. You cannot be any more spiritual than you are in any given particular moment. Do you know why that is? Because there is one fact that we base this entire philosophy on, and that is that all there is spirit. 100% infinite spirit. Given that, that's who you are. You cannot be any more spiritual than you already are because you're already 100% spiritual. And there is nothing separate from spirit. Nothing. We have a tendency sometimes to think, oh, but that over there, that's the excuse. That's not the excuse. That's the exception to the rule. There are no exceptions to the rule. I am spirit. Mary Ellen is spirit. The wall is spirit. I haven't done that in a long time. The wall is spirit. The microphone is spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be shifted. It cannot be separate from anything, because once you've separated spirit from anything, it is no longer infinite. So if we believe that spirit is infinite, there is nothing but spirit. That's why I can stand up here and very proudly say, here we go. Actually, everyone stand up right now. Because I really want us, this has been my ministry from day one. Now, those of you who are here for the first time and maybe don't know my ministry, here's the core of my ministry. There is no separation between God and man and woman. You know what I mean, right? I talk about it in Mental Muscle, that I have a global objective to eliminate the perceived gap between the human and the divine, which is why I can stand up here, and I'm going to ask you all to say this with me: I am God. I am God. How does that feel? Does it make anyone feel nervous? I heard an You know, and I get that. I get that, but let's say it one more time. I am God. You can sit down. It is not unusual for people to have the experience of that making them feel very uncomfortable. But it's because you've been brought up on a series of what you may have taken into your life as facts about what God is. And in those facts, we have separated ourselves. And it's not true. The truth is, each and every one of us is God at the expression of our individualized conscious use of mind. That's the truth. So we can stand and say, I am God. You are God. You are God. We are all God. And it doesn't make us any better. That's the other thing, is people tend to think, well, if I say I'm God, and aren't I saying I'm, on some level greater than other people? No, because everybody's God. When you get that, when you get that we are all equal, life gets so much better. So much better. So much better. Because you stop perceiving the other. And you start understanding your unity with and as the divine, which we all are. You cannot be more spiritual than you are right in this moment. I think we spend a lot of time trying to be spiritual. We separate ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with this. I have a brilliant spiritual practice. I meditate, I pray, I do these things in the privacy of my own experience. I think there are far too many people, though, who do the spirit. I'm going to be spiritual now, okay? Meditating, And they think that somehow in those moments they are more spiritual. But here's the trick of life. And it's not a trick. Here's my goal in life. To be able to, in the face of any circumstance, understand my connection with and as spirit. Any circumstance. What is perceived as good and not so good. Every circumstance you experience is a circumstance of God experiencing God. That's the truth. So be aware of what you treat in your life as a fact and question it. Because oftentimes facts are merely opinions that we have about our experience. When we take opinion and declare it as fact, we become bonded to it. And I'm not one who wants to live in bondage. I don't want to live in bondage. There are other facts that other philosophies take, and they have decided that these are facts, right? A lot of Bible stories. Now, whether stories in the Bible actually happened or they don't, or they didn't, who the heck cares? Who the heck cares? What is the truth underneath the story that is to be known? Because that's really what matters. Joseph Campbell puts it perfectly. Every religion, he writes, every religion is true one way or another. That's why I stand up here and I have no problem, and you know this because I think I freaked some people out when I first got here. I have no problem talking about the Bible. I have no problem talking about Jesus, the man, because I don't see Jesus, the man, as separate from us. He was here to teach that we are all one thing. We are all, he said, things that I do, you will do, and greater. He understood and he taught the principle that we teach. I don't see the Buddha as being separate from the self. I don't see separation anymore. And that's what my ministry is all about, to have that understanding. So Joseph Campbell, he writes, every religion is true one way or another. It is true when understood metaphorically. But when it gets stuck in its own metaphors, interpreting them as facts, then you're in trouble. And I think my experience is far too many people that I've encountered take the Bible literally. There's great wisdom in the Bible. But you know what? I am going to say this. There is great wisdom in the Harry Potter series. The thing to start looking for is, where does wisdom come to you when you need to know it, and to start recognizing it, because it's there. The lessons you need to learn are always put right in front of your face. Are you aware of them? That's why I don't fear the Bible. And someday, when I'm awfully low, told you I have a very musical mind. Someday, I do want to teach the metaphysical approach to the Bible as a class, so that we can all come to a deeper understanding of it. And now I will tell you, in my history, I used to fear the Bible. I was not, as many of you know, I was not brought up in a specific religion, but I was surrounded by Christianity. It actually also, I really discovered recently that a lot of my friends, and I didn't really realize this, were all Mormon when I was in high school. A lot of my friends were Mormon. But I was surrounded by religion. I didn't go to church on Sundays growing up. And so the Bible was kind of the Bible is kind of a scary thing. That's what I grew up with. That was a fact in my life. And here's where I was mistaken. I was putting power in that book, thinking that book somehow resonated in an energetic way more deeply than other books. And I started to fear what that meant. So I used to put my fear into the other. And therefore I start separating myself, stepping back from that. When I came into this philosophy and was told very clearly, when I was sitting there that first day, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in a church. Okay, what am I going to be indoctrinated with here? I'm going to be indoctrinated with this. You are perfect, whole, and complete. Really? You are the perfect presence and individualized expression of the divine. What? You are God. I heard that the very first time I stepped into a science of mind church. I'm also not going to be afraid of science of mind or religious science. I am not going to be afraid of whatever we need to call ourselves to have a deeper understanding of what it is that we teach here. Ernest Holmes approached this philosophy from a scientific viewpoint. It is up to us to stand firm in our understanding of that. So I don't fear the words religious science. And I feel like there's a pervading, because we changed our name to Centers for Spiritual Living, because of a perception in the world of form. Those are facts. What is the truth? How do you understand the philosophy? I don't fear science of mind. I don't fear religious science. I don't fear the Bible. I don't fear the Bhagavad Gita. I don't fear any of it anymore, because I know that there is great wisdom, and it is always put in front of my face when I need to see it. What about you? Where do you find the wisdom? Where do you find the intuition of the divine flowing through you? And are you willing to step into a deeper recognition of it right here in this moment? It's why this song resonates with me. Bring it on. Bring it on. Everything new. Because the truth is, in every given moment, whether you've experienced something before or not, it is brand new in that moment. And you've never experienced it in the way that you're experiencing it right in that moment. Bring it on. Everything new. If you decide to have the experience based on your past experience, recognize that that is a choice. It's funny, because sometimes I write things that I look at them again after I've written them, 4 hours ago, and I'm like, I don't know if that makes sense to me anymore. Bring it on, everyone know. Bring it on, everything new. The truth is, if you cannot start to recognize, and this is my encouragement for you today, and I'm going to tell you that you can, if you choose, to begin to see everything with brand new eyes in every given moment that will keep you from being stuck in the past. And I believe you will then stop using the past to prove your present. I believe that is part of the power of the song. It gives us permission, really, to let loose. Right? I mean, how did you feel at the end of the song? Bring it on! Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know I'm going to be everything new. It's going to be everything new. The bridge of the song, now you don't have to know the structure of music to understand. The bridge of the song is where it changes a little bit, right? And he writes, and I've survived many times before. Broken hearts and slamming doors. How many of you have had those experiences? You don't have to raise your hand. I've been very clear about my experiences of heartbreak. I talk about it because here's the truth. I have learned the lessons that I need to learn from heartbreak in my life. How many people, though, are holding on to the heartbreak to prove their position in life now? No. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. Just because you've survived does not, and I'm going to put survived in quotes, just because you've survived doesn't give you any more facts to live your life on. I actually was questioned, because I do talk about the relationship that I was in 13 years ago, the abusive relationship that I was in 13 years ago. And somebody actually questioned me on it, saying, well, you bring it up all the time. Does that mean that it still energetically holds something for you? Are you still living that experience? I'm like, heck no. Because I learned what I needed to learn from it, and now I use it as a teaching tool. Again, for myself. Sometimes I need to be reminded, oh yeah, that was that, right? I see that effect. And now I know that the truth, because that's a fact, I know the truth with a capital T, the spiritual truth, is I do not need to have that experience ever again to understand my unity with and as the divine spirit. And the reason that I was involved in that then is because I was not nearly as enlightened then. Sounds so terrible, right? And I decided that that was what was important, and it was important to have those experiences that were, degrading. On some level, consciously or subconsciously, I decided that that needed to be my truth. But it was just a fact that I was experiencing because of the principle of correspondence, like I said before. I had made a decision, there's my thought. It shows up as experience in the world. So if any of you potentially are experiencing something right now in your life that feels not so good, recognize that you can change it. You can change it, but it is up to you to make the conscious choice to do so. Until you do, you will continue to experience the things that are not so great. rise above the facts. That's why, all right, so just because I can't ever not do a talk without referencing my mentor. It's why I'm so grateful to James Mellon, who taught me ministry, because his experience of cancer, fact, right? Cancer was a fact for him, helped me come to a deeper understanding of how each and every one of us has the capacity to rise above the facts, the circumstances of our life, and live the spiritual truth. It is called rising above your conditions. Fact and fiction are almost the same thing in my mind now. That's why I called today Factitious, and that's the name of the talk. It's play on words. Fictitious, factitious. Fact and fiction are actually very similar in my mind. Because I know that I start to rely on fact when I stop relying on truth. And so if I were to define factitious, it's an adjective, right? And it is denoting fiction as your fact. That's how I would describe factitious. The only truth to be known, I'm going to reiterate it, the only truth to be known is you cannot be any more spiritual than you are right in this moment. Remember that? How many of you feel spiritual right now? Awesome. To me, it's actually a provable fact that you cannot be more spiritual than you are right in this moment, because you cannot be anything other than who you are right in this moment. And the truth is, you are God. The whole of you, every single cell in your body, the energy that resonates from your body, the energy that is beyond your body, which is still part of you, is spirit incarnate. And you cannot be more spiritual than that. So relax. The facts are just the facts. And the truth is, you are so much more than the facts. You are so much more than the facts. I have nothing else to say. That's it. Namaste. Isn't it funny how sometimes you just get to that point and you're like,
And scene. Yeah.
that's it. That's all that's happening today. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I want to, as we step into this next section, which is our offering, I want to, first of all, say thank you to what it is that you offer to the center today, whether you call it a gift, your investment in the center, your tithe, whatever you call it. Those are just facts. The truth is there's a spiritual truth that money is God in action, and money does support this center, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you for the gifts you give today. As you hold what it is you offer today, let's read on the back of our songbooks the divine givingness statement so that we can, in a ritualistic fashion, come to a deeper understanding of what money is all about. Would you like to stand? Everyone stand then. All right. As you hold what it is, let's read this together. I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I claim an abundance of money to spare and share. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I give thanks for this good. I know that my gift today goes forward to heal and bless. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center and know that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And you can stay standing. We're going to sing the point of power on page 27 as the baskets go around.
2, 3, 4.
In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. this moment I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now.
All right. I'm going to invite, before you sit down, Mary Ellen to do a blessing over our offering.
My pleasure.
Now, you can all sit down if you like.
Well, in this present and powerful moment, I invite, and I know that this divine power is right here and right now. And God is like, the presence flows through me just like a river. And I know that the money in this basket, the gifts, and I talk about the gifts in this center of the time and the talent and the treasure of everyone present and everyone online that generously contributes. In mind and in thought, it is here. It is in this action. There is a law of circulation. And there is no accident that we take this money and we accept the flow of this to continue to operate in and through each and every one of us. We are not separate from these baskets. We are these baskets. So, with a grateful and open heart, I give thanks. I thank you for the success and the goodness of all that comes in the prosperity, the health, and the wealth. It is in each and every one of us. And I say thank you. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Mary Ellen. So I want to say thank you to everyone who makes this service possible. And so let me start by saying I want to thank each and every one of you as the community, because without community, there would be no Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm grateful to every single one of you for your participation and your consciousness right here. I want to say thank you to Susan and Jim, our board members on duty today. Grateful to you. I want to say thank you to Gail and Christina who set up today. Yes. Our greeters, Judy and Margaret Ann, I want to thank you for your service. Thank you. In the bookstore today, Kathy and Lorna. Check out the bookstore. We have all kinds of great stuff. You can get Creative Thought and also Science of Mind magazine. We have them all ready for August. Shocker. They're here, so pick them up. Lots of great books. We sold out of The Power of Decision last week. Because I always mention it, right? But do check it out. Lots of great stuff there, so take a look. Also, I want to thank Carmen in the sound booth today. And I want to thank Tony for ensuring that we get out to the interweb. Also, you know, this is a service that we offer. If you're not here for any particular reason, you can always watch us online. We do stream live every Sunday, and we also put an archive up. These days, the archive is up usually fairly quickly on a Sunday, which makes me very happy. But I'm grateful to everyone who watches us online as well, and for your contributions to this community, financially, consciously, in every way. Thank you so much for being with us. Down with the dynamic kids today, Mahala and Heather. And when Helen and I came in and painted the rest of the sanctuary this blue color yesterday, they were downstairs painting the kids area. It is gorgeous down there now. So I'm so grateful to that. They're really, wow, they're doing quite a thing down there. And also do let your friends know. If you have friends who have kids and think that they can't show up on a Sunday, they can, because we do offer a youth program here. So please let everyone know. I want to thank Pierre Gautreau and the band. And I also want to thank our practitioner of the day for your meditation and your brilliant consciousness, Mary Ellen Cassie. So community is what makes this place happen. And community is what will allow this place to continue for the next 3 weeks when I am not here on a Sunday. We do have brilliant people coming in to offer inspiration. Next week on the 21st, well, here's the exciting news. I'm going back and I'm going to be speaking in North Hollywood at what is now the Global Truth Center, which is formerly the NoHo Art Center for New Thought, which is where I was trained. And it's very exciting for me to be the lead guy on that stage. But next week we have Carmian Owen, who's going to be here. He's a ministerial student from Edmonton. Brilliant mind. I've talked to him. I've spent a lot of time with him at conferences, and you will truly enjoy him. The week after that is Esther Nicholson, who will be here. She will be providing as our featured musician and also providing the inspirational talk that day. She is doing her workshop following that, her forgiveness workshop, Make Room for a Miracle. Some people have asked about the fee for that. It's $35. It's payable on that day, and it's payable directly to her. We, as a center, are actually not taking the payment for that. So you work that out when you get here that day. With her. But there is a sign-up sheet, so I'll encourage you all to sign up and be here for that. That's on the 28th. On the 4th of August, our very own Helen Velo will be gracing us. As she is about to step into ministerial studies. Brilliant. She's a minister already. I mean, let's face it. And grateful to her. And we also have scheduled that day Amy Bishop as our featured musician that day. And this woman is a powerhouse. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss her. You do not want to miss her. So that's what's going on in the next few weeks, and I encourage you all to be here, even though I won't be here. But I'll be watching online.
And that's a fact.
That is a fact. They know. When I go away, I watch online. Because I'm checking in on you. No, I'm not. Because I enjoy my spiritual upliftment as well online. That's a terrible way of phrasing it. You know what I actually do? I leave here on a Sunday, and I actually go and watch another service online every Sunday. Because I need spiritual nourishment as well. So, there we are. I said I was never doing announcements again, and I just did announcements. That's all good.
Factitious.
Yeah, the facts change. Just hearing these opening chords, I am struck emotionally in a feeling place. Because this was the benediction for years where I was trained. And I'm so grateful for this song. I'm so grateful to you, and I am so grateful for what this song means to me. So I encourage you all to simply relax right into that place. If you want to follow along, it's on page 7. But really, this is about going to that feeling place, a deeper understanding that the facts are just the facts. They can be changed, but there is one truth. That's it. One truth. And that one truth is God is all there is. God is all there is. And so I allow myself
and encourage you in this moment to simply settle back into that. God is all there is. God is all there is. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. I find God. In the instance, I find myself. I find God in every single person I encounter. I find God by living the experience of this divine creative source at all times and in everything I do. I recognize right here and right now that there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life, and it is the life of every single one of us. And we are all living it perfectly. I trust this and I know this, and I allow this to be the point at which my entire life unfolds. And I encourage every single person I encounter to do the same thing, to allow the divine to be the point of power at which everything unfolds in their lives. In knowing that there is only this one life, I trust in this life, and I trust that it expresses itself by means of me and by means of every single person I encounter as perfect health, perfect wealth, perfect creative expression, and it shows up in perfect relationships. Every single experience that we have is an experience of the divine, and it is an experience as the divine, for there is no separation. And I stand firm and resolved in this idea with a grateful heart, knowing that this is the truth. And in this truth, I know it to be so. So I release this word to a perfectly corresponding law that says, yes, it is done. It is done, for you have spoken it. It is done right here and right now. I trust it. I know it. I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. Oh. And so it was, and so it is, and so it always shall be. Namaste. Thank you so much. We're going to close it out today, take it into the streets with Bright Side of the Road, which is on page 20. I've encouraged Tanis to take the stage.
Okay.
Sure. I'm just glad to see you back and weeping. I know.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
From the dark end of the street
From the dark end of the street
to the bright side of the road,
to the bright side of the road,
we will meet you once again
on the bright side of the road.
Little darling, come with me.
Little darling, come with me.
Won't you help me share my load?
Won't you let me share my load?
From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road. And into this life we're born. And baby, sometimes we just don't know why. And time seems to go by so fast. In the blinking of an eye. Let's enjoy it while we can.
Let's enjoy it while we can.
Won't you help me sing my song?
Won't you help me sing my song?
Little darling, come along to the bright side of the road. All right, my boys, take it away.
Stephen Belair.
And into this life we're born. And baby, sometimes we just don't know why. And time seems to go by so fast. In the twinkling of an eye. Let's enjoy it while we can.
Let's enjoy it while we can.
Won't you help me sing my song?
Won't you help me sing my song?
Little darling, come along to the bright side of the road.
Here we go.
From the dark end of the street
From the dark end of the street
to the bright side of the road,
to the bright side of the road,
we will meet you once again on the bright side of the road. We will meet you once again on the bright side of the road. We will meet you once again on the bright side of the road.
Have a great week, everyone.
from the lead break.